support.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل الله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد فإن الحديث كتاب الله وخير هدى محمد وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل بدعة ضلالة. The praise is certainly due to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His help when He can help. We turn to Him in repentance and we seek Him out for forgiveness. We seek refuge in and with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from evil of ourselves and evil of our deeds. Whomsoever Allah guides, no one can misguide them. And whomsoever Allah leads to be left astray, no one can guide them. And I openly bear witness that none deserves to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone without partners. And I openly bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the slave servant messenger. And as to what comes after, the best speech is the book of Allah wa ta'ala, and the finest guidance is the guidance of Muhammad alayhi salam. And the worst of all affairs are newly invented matters in this religion. And every newly invented matter is a misguidance, and the misguidance leads people astray, and as a result they find themselves in the hellfire. I greet you, my beloved audience, brothers and sisters, friends, and the greetings of all of the prophets from Adam to Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, which means may the peace of God be upon you. Today's talk, I mentioned that it would be on justice for all, and certainly I have a script. But let me say to you that I am in pain right now. I'm in pain, because of what happened to our brother George Floyd. And it's not something that should have happened. But what it speaks to is the fact that even though slavery is over, Jim Crowism is over, all of these things that existed where we were so discriminated against as a people, we are still being discriminated against. And not only are we being discriminated against and locked up, those who are not locked up are killed in the street. Killed in the street by those who have been sworn to uphold the law. So I think about it sometimes and I say, okay, now these are police officers. Police officers are supposed to preserve and protect and support communities. But every time we turn around, one of our African American men are being killed in the street. That's not something that you can feel happy about. It's not. And so I'm not happy about that at all. And I don't believe anybody who calls themselves a person that's committed to the people, a person that is a faith leader, a servant leader, should be feeling any way but upset about the situation, if not angered. Not angered to the point of a person being beside themselves, no longer rational, no longer intelligent, but angry to the extent that says, look, we have a right to be angry about this because it keeps happening over and over and over again. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to be patient. He says, persevere in patience, be constant in it, and He tells us to vie in our perseverance, and that we should strengthen each other and fear Him alone. So I have patience. Enough is enough, though. You think about it. We're always being attacked. I'm a father of 4 black men, 4 African American men. So that means that when the phone rings, I should be nervous because I'm thinking I might get a call to say that one of my sons have been killed by the police. I have 3 grandsons. Same thing. That they should grow up to be a certain age and then be taken out by the police. Something is wrong with that picture. I don't accept it at all. And you know what? Our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said something to us. He told us to stand up for justice, but he also told us something else. He says, when you see an evil or wrong, that you should try to change it with your hands, which means with your power, your authority, or you have the position, or you're in the position to do something about it physically, we should do something about it. But if you cannot, because your situation is such, your hands are tied, you can't really do anything physically, then we should at least speak out against it. And if we can't even speak out against it, and so far, we haven't come to that yet. Certain things may happen to individuals who speak out against it, but not like what happened to Khashoggi, being cut up in little pieces and never found again. We don't have that situation yet, and I pray Allah we never have that situation here. You can't speak out against it. And also, if you think about having the power or the ability to do something about it, demonstrating and protesting is doing something about it. Doing something about it in what I consider to be a real way, and not becoming so emotional again that you do things that you shouldn't do, like destroy property that belongs to other people or businesses, or innocent people get trampled upon because you're not thinking. Now, I'm saying this, and I want you to listen very carefully, because be very cautious of this, because sometimes the devil gets involved with these things to try to unrail it or derail it, so that it seems as though it's coming from us as a people doing this, making it seem as though we're savages and that we are so emotional that we can't think straight even when we're protesting or demonstrating. But they are provocateurs, and they're there for a reason. So be careful of that. But we should not be happy. We should not feel calm in terms of what happened. It's wrong. It's wrong, and we should speak out against it. And the prophet said, the third thing, that if you can't speak out against it, at least hate it in your heart. Hate it in your heart. Don't approve of what happened. Hate it in your heart is the weakest of faith, because nothing's going on. So we've been told, basically, to stand up for the truth. To stand up, to be standard bearers for justice. That's what we ought to be. So, yeah, okay, we ain't in church. We're not at the masjid. We're not at the synagogues because of COVID-19. That's a serious killer. Killed over 100,000 Americans so far. And we don't know how many more is going to die. I might be one of them. You might be one of them. But, it's still going on. We can't do nothing about that. But try to be cautious and prevent certain things by wearing a mask and putting on gloves and not touching this and not touching that. But to have one of our sons killed in the street over, they say, fraud, a check for $20 is enough for him to be snuffed out, to get his life taken from him? Now, I know that some people will say, oh, well, that's not our concern. He's not a Muslim. Let me tell you something. He's a human being. And Muslim is human being. So if I hear somebody say, well, they're not our brothers and our sisters, then how are you going to tell somebody that we are all from the same human family and it all began with Adam and Hawa, or Adam and Eve? If that's the case, then we are all brothers and sisters. All a part of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that life is precious. That life is sacred. But it seems as though our blood means nothing. So it's spilled, nobody says anything. Or the individuals even come to court and get found not guilty. Individuals get fired, but they don't get locked up. This is what we see happening. So this is happening over and over and over and over again. So listen, society, listen, government. You need to understand something. That if this is happening, at some point, the people are not going to be able to accept it anymore. They're just not. Because they're going to be so fed up with it. Take a listen. They'll be so fed up with it that they're saying it's not going to happen anymore. Huh? Think about that. And those of you who think that protesting and demonstrations don't mean anything, it does. Early on, I was watching my granddaughter as she was actually reenacting what our dear beloved Rosa Parks did so many, many years ago. She was tired, that's all, tired. And so she sat down at the first available seat on the bus. And the bus driver told her to get up out that seat, go sit where you belong. You don't belong here, this is a white section. She refused. I'm tired, I'm sitting here. And behind that act of defiance, a whole movement started. And the boycott was put in place. And when that boycott was put in place, that meant that, yes, we had to work, continue to work, etc., but we would not ride that bus. That meant that we may have to get in somebody's car. Somebody had to take us from work to work to the house, and we pile in on one car, get into a truck, get into a van. We did it. And because we did it, because we held together firmly, what happened? Now you can sit wherever you want to sit. In the front of the bus, in the back of the bus, it don't matter. That lets you know what kind of power we really have, but you have to use it. So yeah, I'm speaking about justice for all. Allah tells us that we should be just. And he tells us, oh, you believe, stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if it is against yourselves, or parents, or relatives, whether one is rich or poor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, highly glorified as he above the attributed to him, is more worthy of both. So follow not the lust of your hearts. Follow not the lust of your hearts, lest you swerve from justice, or distort justice, or decline to do justice. Verily Allah is well acquainted with all that you do.
That's right.
So we have been told this. Allama Yusuf Ali explains that justice is Allah's attribute. That's one of his attributes. And to stand firm for justice is to be a witness to Allah, even if it is detrimental to our own interests, as we conceive them, or interests of those who are near and dear to us. According to the Latin saying, let justice be done, though heaven should fall. So we have been commanded to be just, to stand up for justice, brothers and sisters. So yeah, church, I'm talking about pastors, imams, rabbis, or any other faith or no faith at all. We should not just be silent in a situation like this. We all should be calling for justice for that young man who has lost his life, which means that no, he's not there for his children anymore. Or if they have children, he won't be there for their children anymore, because he's gone now. A forged check, a forgery, a check, $20, he should lose his life. Then we say, yeah, there's another situation. Allah tells us that we should always deal in justice. He commands us even to render back the trust to whom they are due, and when we judge between people, to judge with justice. Excellent is that which Allah instructs you. Indeed, Allah is ever hearing and seeing. So we're told that Allah sees us. He knows what we do. And so I'm calling on you, imams. I'm calling on you, reverends and pastors. I'm calling on you, rabbis who have synagogues all over America. I'm calling on you to stand up for the truth. Stand up for the truth. Speak out against injustice. And don't say, well, they're not bothering me. You remember that story? They came for someone and you were silent. They came for someone else and you were silent. And they came for someone else and you were silent. And they came for you and there was nobody there for you. No. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So said the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. So we have to stand up for justice. And that man did not, he should not have died over something like this. So certainly the officers that were involved, the ones who were involved in terms of the one that was actually with his knee on that brother's neck, he should pay for that. He's responsible for that. And those officers who stood around watching, or stood around right there, you know they have a thing they call aiding and abetting. So 5 guys go out to commit a robbery, and one guy has a gun, and the other 4 don't have the gun, but they're all there together, and they rob this bank. They get arrested, and they say all of them are arrested for robbery in the 1st degree. And he said only one person had the gun. No, but they were aiding and abetting. So are you telling me that that's good for others, but not good for those who say they uphold the law? They were there, and so they should get the same punishment because they didn't do anything to stop it. Yeah, I'm saying that. I believe that. It's important for us to not just let this go. Stand up. It shouldn't just be 1 or 2 people. Everybody should be upset about this. It's not even about just black now. Everybody should be upset about this because another human being died at the hands of law enforcement. That's a terrible thing. And I say to you again what I said in the beginning, that some people say that the Ku Klux Klan and white supremacists, they decided, you know, we don't need to wear hoods. All we need to do is become officers, police officers. We can become police officers, and then we can beat up as many blacks as we want, and we can kill as many blacks as we want, and nothing will happen to us. Why? Because we are police officers. We have a code, so nothing will happen to us. Something is wrong with that picture, and I'm submitting to you today, as an imam, as a human being, as a father, as a grandfather, that this situation is not right, and we should stand together against it. So I'm calling on all of you. We sometimes say when someone is ill, we want the prayer warriors to come together. Well, right now, we don't want the prayer warriors, we want the warriors to come together, to stand together, side by side, to fight against this enemy. To fight against this enemy, to demonstrate, to protest against this enemy until justice prevails. That's my message to you today. That we should not be happy about what took place. And we should not think that, oh, well, it didn't touch me, it didn't happen to me. Because the more we allow for this to happen, the more it will continue to happen. But when we decide that we're not taking it anymore, and individuals in the high positions recognize that those people in those positions that does that need to pay for it, because other people look at them and they say, wait a minute, why should anybody be right? Why should anybody care about telling the truth? Why should anybody deal with just, look at this situation. They get away with murder. Literally. They get away with murder. So then nobody wants to tell the truth. And we know we have the worst of us right now in the White House. The worst of us. A person who doesn't have a positive bone in his body to speak in terms of dealing with people and being there for the people. It's only about that person's self and what he wants. We'd be so glad when he's no longer in that position. But we can't look for no help from him. And even those bodies of groups that we have in position, it's like, okay, it's supposed to be a situation where it's a check and balance. He's trying to disrupt all of that where there is no check and balance. Just what he wants, because he wants to be a tyrant. He's in charge, and whatever he says goes. That's not the kind of environment that we have. That's not what our forefathers envisioned when they set up the Constitution of the United States of America. So we're not happy with what we have in the White House right now. And I'm saying to you, whether you be an official, whether you be a politician, whether you be an individual who is in the position of chief of police or commissioner of the police, stand up for the truth. Don't allow for some slime hole. Don't allow for someone that doesn't have in them the heart for human beings, compassion for human beings, to just get away with it. Stand up and give that person what they rightly deserve. Let the people win for a change. Because the way it is right now, we ain't winning. Again. So we can look around and say, okay, we got everything going against us. COVID-19, police officers, all these things coming against us. No. Let's stop right here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stand up for the truth, dear brothers and sisters. I feel really hurt behind what happened. You know, it really touched me the other day. My daughter's been with us for a few months since this pandemic came, and she just started crying. Like, oh man, what is she crying about? And she said, why don't they just leave us alone? Why do they keep messing with us? I said, here, she's feeling it. She has the sensitivity of a human being, where she's feeling it, and she's feeling that somebody from her flesh is dead. And she's seen it over and over and over and over again. And she's saying, that's enough. That's enough. Can't take this no more. That's real. That's not fake. That ain't TV. Huh? That's real. And you have to look at that for a minute. Here, now, that brother, he's no longer there for his family. I did see one of his brothers speak, and I saw one of his sisters speak, and they were crushed. And this man was one who stood up, and they always want to tell you about, well, you know, he wasn't all that good. He has a record. Let me tell you something. Hypocrite. When an individual goes and does their time, they do their time, that's it. And those of us who say we're religious, what about redemption? Why is it that this person committed a crime and that's all you know? That person committed a crime. He committed a crime. 40 years ago, 50 years ago, he committed a crime. And that becomes who that person is? No. That person has transcended that. That person has elevated themselves. That person has restored themselves, have come back to their dignity and their honor. And then we can see how it's a double standard. Because we don't do the same thing for white folks. White folk commit crimes, they go to jail, they get out of jail free card. And they get out of jail. And they no longer say anything bad about them. But let one of us get arrested for something. They'll talk about when you sneeze the wrong way when you was in elementary school. Because that's how they get down. So I'm saying to you, my brothers and my sisters, stand up for the truth. Don't be complacent. Don't just feel good about it. Don't feel bad, upset over it for a day or two or three. But let's hold them accountable for what they did. They should not get away with this. Not again. Not again. And we say never again. That's the spirit that we should have. Never again. Huh? I'm a dignified, honorable human being, and so are my children and their children. And they should be respected as such. That's Islam. Not Islam, that's Islam. Al-Islam. That we should have this kind of attitude. That we love human beings because Allah created the human family. And He created us to respect one another. Yes. And having a situation, sometimes people go a little off, so we have to have law enforcement. But it doesn't mean that law enforcement is such that they come at a particular race of people. No. If a person does something wrong, should they be punished for it? Of course. Should you sometimes have to arrest them? Of course. If somebody's resisting arrest, maybe you may have to use a little bit more pressure. Of course. They said he was resisting arrest. He wasn't resisting arrest. He was already locked down, handcuffed, behind his back, face down. How is he resisting arrest? Think about it for a minute. So, I really had no intention on trying to get you excited, but I just felt like I couldn't go on without saying something about what happened to Mr. Floyd and how we as Muslims have to stand up for truth. You know, there's another expression in the Quran that says, he who saves a life is as though he has saved the whole world. Likewise, he who takes a life is as though he has taken the life of the whole world. So think about that for a minute. That's one life that was taken. It's like taking the life of the whole world. We can't let that happen again. If it means that all of the police officers have to go through training, sensitivity training again and again and again, then they must do that. And your internal security should be such that you can weed out those individuals that you recognize as being white supremacists. They should be weaned out, taken out, so that we don't have to worry about them anymore. So I say that in ending my talk today. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he protects us, he guides us, that he sends down his blessings upon all of us, that he increases us in faith, and that he is appreciative of what we have to say today. And I want to open up, this is Yours in Firm Faith Reading Connection series, but I want to open up with questions because you may have some. If you have some questions, I'm ready to deal with them.
And you're going to repeat the question. I have a question here from Linda Butts Brooks Miller. Question is, how can the oppressor's hearts be changed?
Listen, an oppressor's heart can be changed if you have the right people involved with that. Because you don't know why a person is oppressing someone. How can the heart be changed? Continue to hit them with truth. Continue to hit them with truth. Come with the truth from the Quran. If they're Christians, come with the truth from the Bible. If they're humanists, come from the truth of what humanists believe in. Come to them and speak to them on a level where they can understand and appreciate it. And then, of course, you have some people that have so much hatred in their hearts that they're just going to die on that. And there's nothing that you can do. It's just nothing that you can do. They're going to die on that. But there are some that could have that lifted off them because that's a burden on their soul too. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sister Nora says, thank you. How can we stop anti-blackness in many Muslim communities?
To speak out against them, Sister Nora. Don't allow for it to be business as usual. We should make sure that we're speaking up and giving people what Allah says in the Quran and making sure that they understand that what they're doing is un-Islamic. I wrote a book called Bridging the Divide Between Immigrant and African American Muslims by utilizing the concept of Tawheed as a catalyst. And in that I was saying how, they could tell you that they believe in Tawheed, but if they have some anti-black in them, they can't really truly believe in Tawheed. Because Tawheed transcends that. Tawheed transcends race. Tawheed transcends color. Because Tawheed deals with human excellence. And human excellence is above and beyond, or it's over, or it excels race and race consciousness and color consciousness. So that's what I would say. Hit them with the truth. Because it says that the truth knocks the brains out of falsehood. That's what the Quran says. Truth knocks the brains out of falsehood. And we have to keep hitting them with the truth until we knock the brains out of falsehood. Yes.
And there's a statement from Isa Rock. He says, Allah says, We Muslims are the best of humanity. Why? Because we enjoin what is good, what is just, and forbid what is wrong, unjust, and that we believe in Allah. He also tells us to stand up for justice and decline not to do justice. Justice is not a Muslim thing, but a human thing, as Imam Salahuddin is pointing out. And there's a final comment from Jamar Muhammad.
Yes.
He says, Assalamu alaikum, Brother Imam.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I'm at work, but I have to stay plugged into what you have to talking about Allah and His Messenger. May Allah continue to bless you and your family. And I'm sorry, Asila also had a comment, and she says, and we have to financially connect with each other. We cannot help our communities, other communities, or join movements if we do not connect our spending power from the wealthy of us to the paycheck to paycheck portion of us. If you agree, how do you think we can begin to use our financial powers to change and or help the situation? I have to admit, I'm so angry about this. I'm beyond sad at this point. Sad puts us in a somber place. Angry puts us in a place of action, and we have to be ready for action. And then she apologizes, this is my baby, Asila. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place with this comment, but there's so much inside me right now. So her question is, if you do agree with her that we need to connect financially, the question is, how can we begin to use our financial powers to change and or help this situation?
Okay, thank you so much for that question, Sela. Sela is a mother of sons and also a grandmother of grandsons. And so I know it hurts her as it hurts all of us. But it starts off with a few people. A few people getting together of like minds, come together and decide to do something. There was something that we used to do, and I know a lot of people do it, and many of the immigrants or people who come from the islands or Jamaica and places like that, called susu. And they come together and they put money together and they just put it all together and say they had 10 people and they all give $100 a week, and they will give that first $1,000 to the one who needed it the most, and then it would just keep rotating until everyone had it. And it could go bigger than that. So they were able to actually start businesses this way, putting their monies together and then begin to build it up. So people have to trust each other, and when they can trust each other, they'll be able to give each other money, etc., and begin to do it that way. And as you continue to build that way, then it begins to go out. It begins to go out, begins to go out, begins to go out. There's a brother named Sharif, a good brother, a friend of mine, who's in Atlanta, who started a business called We Buy Black. And he has a lot of black businesses that's on this list where we can buy products from them. If we buy products from them, then that would help us by buying from ourselves. And as we keep that money in our circle, we're going to get stronger and stronger. Because as it stands right now, most of our money go out. They go out to other people. It don't stay in our community. But if we begin to buy black, if we begin to buy Muslim, if we begin to buy within our circles, then our financial situation's got to get better. I truly.
And then we're closing it up. Vanilda Armstead Jones says, thank you for sharing your wisdom. And Yahya Sharif is helping us out. And his question is, Assalamu alaikum. Why no mic for the imam? I can hear you very well, but not the imam. So we're going to work on that, Yahya.
Yeah.
Thank you for that critique. We have to try to do better with our imam. Alhamdulillah.
Dr. Vanilla, thank you so much for listening. You know, I love you. And this is one of our new burgers. We have done a lot in Newburgh together. And may Allah continue to bless you and your family. Please give your daughter our heartfelt salam. We're doing okay down here in North Carolina, trying to stay strong and stay on top of things. Again, no one should feel comfortable and happy about what happened, or just have an attitude that, okay, it happened, now let's move on. We should stop this now. But thank you so much for listening to me. For those of you in the listening audience and the watching audience, we thank you for listening and tuning in. And we say to you that this is Yours in Firm Faith, Human Connection Series. And we say to you, we hope to see you again next week at the same time in the same station. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Aki?
Nora said, Madam C.J. Walker. Madam, 1 second.
Is that
We gotta end it.